Another thing about anchor tasks is you want that task to be extendable. In other words, if you're walking around and a child has found the 7 patterns that you didn't think he'd find, what can you do? What can you ask them to do? So I always have back pocket questions. That's figurative, but I always have a couple of questions when I plan an anchor task that I can ask the child who's finished early. Ben Har will tell you about asking them to write in their journals to explain to a friend how to do a problem. That's an approach, journal writing, how-to sheets, things like that. But you always want to be able to extend your task. You also want to have questions in your pocket that you can actually use to give kids that push. Because it's not possible for every kid, sometimes it's just not possible for every kid in the classroom to be able to grab a hold of a problem or at least get in without a little push. Sometimes you need that push through the door. So what questions or what can you do to guide them into the door? You don't want to tell them, but you want to guide them. Approximate time for an anchor task, I like to say, but anywhere, depending on what you're teaching, of course, 10 minutes is probably the average. At high school, probably closer to 15. The brain science tells us that kids in elementary school, using their working memory, can basically tend to about 3 to 4 items for no more than 5 or 10 minutes. So, and you don't want to go past 10 minutes. You really don't. If you have to, at least try and switch some gears. So you want them to be able to optimally get most of their learning done in that 5 or 10 minutes that they're working on a problem so that you can go ahead and debrief or talk to them about what they learned. Because remember, they may have learned, but it may be kind of, they need to have it consolidated. They need to have it put together for them. That's why we do a lot of journal writing in the Singapore approach. Okay? Does that make sense?
Are you detailing something about what they learned? Are you summarizing?
I'm actually going to get to that piece, that debrief. Anchor task we're going to spend about another 20 minutes on. So I'm going to talk about what happens next after they're done working on a problem. Okay? I promise, I swear.
Anchor task every day?
Now, no, I mean, I shouldn't say it's every day. It's your standard lesson format. Look, I mean, we all do different activities, and so do they do that. But that's the predominant approach to lessons in Singapore. And every teacher will stray off and they'll do computer field trips and, whatever you want to do with them. But as far as teaching their learning targets from day to day, it's an anchor task approach.